This is Algebra 1B, Part 1, Unit 3 on polynomials and factoring, Lesson 2. We're going to multiply and factor polynomials. Now, what it's actually referring to is two objectives. We're going to multiply a monomial by a polynomial and factor a monomial from a polynomial. So going forward and backwards. Okay, so let me present you with a problem, and we'll work it out here. So let's say I have 4x squared times 3x squared plus 5x minus 4. Okay. We're going to use a property or principle called the distributive property, where we multiply the 4x squared by the 3x squared, multiply the 4x squared by the 5x, multiply the 4x by the negative 4. Now I'm going to write out this intermediate step, but you don't need to write it out because much of this is done in your head. 4x squared times 3x squared plus 4x squared times 5x to the 1 minus 4x squared times 4. Okay, so that's just showing the 4x squared multiplied one at a time by each of the terms in the trinomial. Okay, now let's do the arithmetic here. We're going to multiply the coefficients. 4 times 3 is 12. X squared times x squared, I'm going to use the principle of addition. When we multiply the same base with the exponents, we add. So this is x to the 4th. Minus 4 times 5 is 20. X squared times x to the 1, or times x, is x to the 2 plus 1, x to the 3. 4 times 4 is 16, x squared. And there we have it. Okay? So 4x squared times 3x squared plus 5x minus 4 is 12x to the 4th minus 20x to the 3rd minus 16x squared. So notice we used addition. We ended up multiplying the coefficients 4 and 3, but adding the exponents, right? Adding the exponents, multiplying the coefficients. When we factor, things are going to be opposite and backwards. So we're going to divide coefficients, and we're going to subtract exponents. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let's say I've got 12 x to the 7th minus 16 x to the 5th plus 8x squared. Okay, so I'm going to show you the long way to do it, but it's easier to understand, and then I'll show you the short way to do it. You can write each one of these as a product. 12x to the 7th is 2. 12 is 2 times 6, which is 2 times 3. That's called writing it as a product of primes. 2 times 2 times 3. X to the 7th is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Minus 16. 16 is 2 times 8, which is 2 times 4, which is 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. X to the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 8, which is 2 times 2, which is, or 2 times 4, which is 2 times 2, x squared. And what I'm looking for is what is in all three terms. All three terms. Well, I see there's a 2 in all three terms, so I'm going to write a 2. I see there's another 2 in all three terms, so I'm going to write another 2. There's not a 3 in all three terms, so there's 1x in all three terms, and there's 2 x's in all three terms. Now what's left? What's not crossed out is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 2 times 2. 3 x's. 1, 2, 3, and 2. Okay? So this can be simplified to 4x squared times 3x to the 5th minus 4x cubed plus 2. Okay, so by expanding and factoring out what's in both, I can simplify it. Okay, Let me show you the same problem again using shortcuts. 12x to the 7th minus 16x to the 5th plus 8x squared. And here's how I think about it. I'm looking for the greatest common factor of 12, 16, and 8. Now 2 will divide them all, but so will 4. 4 times 3, 4 times 4, and 4 times 2. So I'm going to take out a 4. Okay? And then I look for the exponents. They all have x, but I take the smallest exponent, x squared. And I'm going to write that in front. Now you remember how in our previous one, when we distributed, we multiplied coefficients and we added exponents? Here I'm going to divide and subtract. 12 divided by 4 is 3. X to the 7 minus 2 is x to the 5th. Minus 16 divided by 4 is 4. X to the 5 minus 2 is x to the 3rd. 8 divided by 4 is 2. X to the 2 minus 2 is x to the 0, or no x. And so I was able, using that idea of dividing and subtracting, to do the problem in a single step. Okay? That's not as easy to understand as the purple is, expanding and taking out anything that's in both. But you're welcome to use whichever technique you think works best for you.